well with the rest of the upper, so you get a good lockdown, which is especially critical for trail running. So if the tongue is off, which, oh man, okay.
Are you still dancing on your surface? Waiting for someone else to change. I am the engine, you're the gasoline. Still got the pressure on you.
We're getting this done, everybody. Nike Terra Kiger 7 reviewing the Studio. First impression, not my 50-mile full review. Just say right now, little undecided as to whether or not we'll get it to 50. It's got potential. Okay, a few little concerns that I will share in a minute, but there it is, a Nike Trail racing shoe. Let's do the twist test. Here we go. Loosey goose. It is twisted. Wow. I'm actually a little surprised. I didn't realize it would twist so easily. So keep that in mind if you are, concerned about overpronation or supination, or even, frankly, rolling ankles out there on the trails. Looking at 4mm drop from heel to toe, 31 in the heel, 27 in the forefoot. Okay, women's size 8, men's size 9 on your screen. Soak it in. Let's just confirm here in my size, US men's 7 in it. Interesting. It sounds a little high. I'm getting 9.3 out here, but I thought inside I was getting 8.8. Wait a minute. That is a little strange. Anyway, there's my score for the weight. Whether it's 8.8 or 9.3, that's a little heavy. Actually, that's kind of very heavy for a trail racing shoe. Just so you know, the Pulsar right now, is it out here? The Pulsar from Salomon is under 7 ounces. So this is, over an ounce and a half. And if it is, it's just kind of a heavy trail racing shoe option. Okay, we're looking at an engineered mesh on top of the shoe, and I gotta say, lockdown is unbelievable. Fully gusseted tongue with an added pad on the top of the tongue. It's an amazing lockdown. Okay, so there's my score, 8 out of 10 for that. It just is so comfortable. Not your traditional, I was a little skeptical, not your traditional eyelet chain. Okay, instead of the holes, which I'm kind of like Nike. I think you're onto something. This eyelet chain, it's a little strange, but it's more the looped rather than holes. And I think it's just reacting, speaking of the midsole, it's reacting really well with the top of my foot as I am lacing up. Okay, let's do the heel counter. Okay, pretty flexible actually, but again, overall score for the upper is solid because they've added some padding here, kind of like not exactly, this is an exaggeration a little bit, but kind of like the Next Percent, the road option. There's just some extra padding there through the back of the heel counter inside there, just to help with the lockdown. We'll get to that lockdown, or the fit, to help with the fit there through the heel pocket. So overall, very pleased. No rocks coming into the shoe, and a little bit of an overlay there through the toe box. Nothing crazy. Let's do the toe cap. Okay, not as stout as some like the Salomon Ultra Glide I've been testing recently. Okay, through that toe, in case you kick a rock or a root out there on the trails, but not too shabby either. Moving on to that React midsole. Let's do the durometer. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. All right, it feels pretty good though to the thumb test. Now, not an amazing ride and energy return, and I don't know. I did some research trying to find information on whether or not the Wild Horse 7 changed the durometer. So what's basically, how hard is the midsole compared to the Wild Horse 6? It feels a little livelier under step. compared to the Wild Horse 6. But again, I'll keep testing, see if we get it to that 50-mile mark. Overall, pleased with that midsole. You know, yeah, nothing, it's not screaming at me. Again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but the Pulsar from Salomon has me way more excited in the ride and energy return department. All right, sound good? There you go. Terra Kiger 7, moving on to that outsole, 7.75 out of 10. And the reason is, so plenty of outsole rubber, okay, but compared to, and I know I'm a lot of comparisons here, the Wild Horse 7 outsole, the lug pattern and the actual placement of the lugs on the outsole in the Terra Kiger 7, I think is gripping better under step, all right, in the testing that I did. By the way, did I mention, here's the run that I did on your screen from Strava. Let's connect on Strava for the Terra Kiger 7 testing. So I definitely took it out there, got some good miles into it, but the grip on the Terra Kiger is feeling better, more grippy, more, yeah, just better grip compared to the Wild Horse 7 lug pattern. There we go for the fit on your screen, 7.5 out of 10. I would say the highlight of the shoe thus far is the upper and the lockdown in the heel pocket. Really enjoying it. Comfort score, 8 out of 10. Mostly because the upper, positive, and drawback, positive is the tongue construction. So for the whole shoe, I'm most excited about the tongue, which is kind of strange, right? And you know, it's like the tongue of the shoe, but it's critical. It lays on top of your foot. It protects your foot from the laces, but you need the laces to react well with the rest of the upper, so you get a good lockdown, which is especially critical for trail running. So if the tongue is off, which, oh man, okay. I took the Brooks Caldera 5 up and down Pikes Peak not too long ago, and it was not good. I had to relace 2 or 3 times. I couldn't figure out how to make the laces react well with the tongue, and the laces were kind of cutting into the top of my foot. Very uncomfortable. I had to relace 2 or 3 times. Anyway, not the case at all with the Terra Kiger 7. Durability prediction looking at 400 miles, okay? I guess I shouldn't say it in that voice. 400 miles. We're not talking about 800 miles, but I'm going with 400 miles. After that first run, not seeing any creasing through the midsole. It seems a little overbuilt for a racing shoe. Nike, all right, there you go. How will I use this shoe? Who is it best for? I will not be using it for racing on the trails, and it's not quite a long run shoe on the trails. It's falling almost more into that, you know, it's a daily trainer on the trails. Yeah, just like get the miles in, which is good. I think it's, and the Wild Horse 7 maybe falling a little bit more into that longer run category, middle distance category. Maybe tempo days, if you want to do a little fartlek out on the trails. Yeah, this will do the trick, but just, I'm not quite excited for the racing category. All right, I keep saying it, but there you go. And who is it best for? A little lower stack height, a slightly lower stack height for the trails. All right, price point, $140. All right, 7 out of 10, standard score, nothing to write home about. For a trail racing shoe, that's actually pretty good these days. But again, I'm just not putting it into the category. Other shoes to buy on your screen for the racing category. I mean, I'm even going to put the Speed Ultra from Adidas that I've, been testing recently. Of course, the Pulsar, can't forget about the Evo, and then the Ultra 3 from Salomon. On your screen, Terra Kiger 7, shoe quick specs one more time. Soak them in. 4mm drop, 8.8 for the weight in my, see, I had 8.8 inside, but again, getting 9.3 out here, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's 9.3, because anyway, that's a story for another day. As to my scale inside is kind of cramped on my desk until we move, so maybe it was touching something else. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, early score, 7.43 out of 10. I'm actually surprised it's that high. I thought it would be lower 7s, maybe even in the 6s. So 7.43 out of 10. Not bad. Not approaching the 8s, again, compared to some other trail shoes I've been testing as of late. I think the Speed Ultra from Adidas, I think it was just under 8. The Ultra Glide from Salomon definitely was, I think it was 8.0 out of 10. If I remember, I'll try to link to it upper right-hand corner. I think that at the end of the day, I just didn't give it a good weight score because they're advertising it as a racing shoe, but I'm not putting it in the racing category. Just a little, I think there's better options out there. But for a tempo day, you know, a fartlek day on the trails, and then just a daily trainer. Did I mention it's a React midsole? Oh my goodness. And an Air Zoom bag under the forefoot. Sorry, I didn't mention that. Air Zoom bag under the forefoot, React midsole. So it's a nice ride. I gotta say, it's a nice ride. It's just not a racing ride. All right, there you go. Comment of the day, pulling it from when I was testing this shoe out from that very vlog. Shout out to Brett Stevens, a local legend here in the Denver area for running. Brett says, I love your tighten the screws saying, whether in running, work, or an important task in life, there comes a point where I need to buckle down, focus on the task, and get her done, or tighten the screws. So the tighten the screws is something that we used to say at the University of Colorado. Like, especially down the home stretch, when you're kicking in a race, especially cross country, we would just be like, tighten the screws, meaning it hurts. You're falling apart. Don't fall apart. Don't let your running form fall apart. Tighten the screws. Finish the race strong. So that's where it comes from, Brett. You get that comment of the day and the question of the day. This is funny. Do you talk about running at work and at parties like all the time? And if so, like what's the reaction of your coworkers or family and friends? Like basically, you know us runners, we talk about running a lot, and what's the reaction to everybody at these parties or at your work? And they're like, listen, give it a break, all right? We understand you're training for your next marathon, or how do those conversations go with your coworkers, family, and friends? Onward and upward. There you go. Nike Terra Kiger 7 early score in the books. We'll toss it to Terra Kiger 6. Why not? Terra Kiger 6 from 2020. Okay, I have no clue. I don't even know. Yeah, we'll just put it right there. I don't know, even remember what that score was, but right there. All right, everyone. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.